Storm Spirit. Thunder and lightning got nothing on this crazy.
Hello everybody, welcome to We Like Dota. This is We Like Dota, the casual Dota 2 podcast, and now YouTube channel, Twitch channel, whatever you want to call it. Supplementary content for the podcast, I guess. But yeah, as you may have heard on the podcast, we're kind of starting a new segment here where Ben plays the hero of the week and rushes the item of the week. So the name of the game here is Ben is going to be, beyond his starting items, rush the item of the week. So that could make for some interesting results further down the line. But spoiler alert, item of the week is Drum of Endurance. So we're going to be seeing Ben build into a Drum of Endurance. Yes, and it looks like Ben will be playing support along with IO, which the IO... he does have a ward. It looks like he has a ward pooled to him. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Whenever I see an IO player, I kind of wish they would just repick, because I've never seen an IO who can play IO well, unless you're a pro. Except I did see a Tiny and IO pair once that was somewhat okay. The IO worked as a bit of a medic for Tiny, doing the tether and overcharge healing and all that good stuff. But I kind of feel like even in that situation, you're taking XP away from the Tiny, so I'm not a huge fan of it. Unless you know when to break off and to let Tiny get solo XP and all that stuff. But anyway, looks like Ben's going to be laning with Nyx Assassin and laning against an Ursa and a Storm Spirit, which is definitely not an ideal lane at all. That's actually a quite horrible lane. We're going to have Tinker and Sniper in the mid lane. And in the bottom lane, we have a Witch Doctor and Necrophos versus Bloodseeker and IO, which Bloodseeker and IO, that's just a horrible lane. But yes, we're going to be mostly focusing on our hero. Hero of the match here, Ben. And he did get a nice Venomous Gale off there. I'm not really sure what it was accomplishing. It does about half a health bar worth of damage, though, and it's still kind of ticking off here. But the Venomous Gale at level 1 only does the initial strike damage of 25, and the dot does not come into play until level 2. So Ben's getting the wards up. Good job playing that good support there. Using the clarity here to get back up his mana after he wasted that Venomous Gale. That's something you have to be really careful of with your spells as a support player, is... you almost need to think of your mana as a resource, and it looks like IO fed a kill in the bottom lane. But we're focusing on Ben. But anyway, yeah, kind of think of your mana as a resource. You know, you don't want to be blowing it without reason, you know? I guess there's a little bit to be said for some harassment and that sort of thing, but yeah, just something to be mindful of, think about. And that Impale there caught out Ursa, but again, you know, not really doing too much with the Impale. Is it called Impale? Yeah. So, something to look out for there. And we do have Ben taking quite a bit of harassment damage from the Ursa, and the Venomous Gale will catch out the Ursa. Did it catch Storm Spirit? Yeah, caught the two of them. He is going for the Venomous Gale and Poison Sting, which I do like the Poison Sting because it really gives a nice slow and a little bit of a damage over time effect to your right click, and then that'll also carry over to your Plague Wards. So I really think that like level 2 Poison Sting with your Plague Wards is quite effective, and Ben just blowing these Venomous Gales for really no reason. I don't know what's going on here. I think a little right-click harass would be a little bit better, so good for you, Ben, I guess. Doing good support play here. Not really. He's doing a good job of harassing, but is stealing farm from the Nyx Assassin, so... yeah, good job, Ben.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
Is going to eat some of those tangos to get some health back. And these right clicks are doing quite a bit of damage from Storm Spirit. He's hitting for 55. So, that kind of stinks. But, yeah, the Storm Spirit Ursa lane is really strange. I'm not sure what's going on there. And I kind of think, you know, Ben's mana is really low. I feel like he should maybe consider going back to base right now, because he's not really getting much done. You could harass the Storm Spirit and Ursa a little bit so they don't get as much farm. But I think it'd be more beneficial to just leave the lane and let your Nyx Assassin get some solo XP while you get your mana back, so that, you know, if there's an opportunity to get a kill, or, you know, the other lane decides to dive or something like that, you're ready to go and you can really really do some work and help out your teammate there. So good job, Ben. Doing great as support. Yep. And taking a look at the creep score, Nyx has 9 and Venomancer has 5, so Ben's doing a good job of stealing farm from the other core. Though it doesn't look like Nyx is necessarily the best at last hitting, so I don't know. And really, Ben's really being harassed out of lane quite a bit here. And yeah, I still really think the Nyx would benefit from a solo lane where he's focusing more on just sapping XP than necessarily getting farm. So I think maybe like a roaming Venomancer would be better, where you can maybe try and get a gank on the sniper in the mid lane. I think that would be beneficial. I think you can still gank somewhat okay with Venomancer with the Venomous Gale. Sniper's not going to be able to get away from that, so I think I'd like to see a gank on the mid lane, or maybe go down to the bottom lane and help gank that Witch Doctor Necrophos lane. Maybe once the Bloodseeker hits level 6, you could start doing that. Because Bloodseeker's not going to be getting a ton of kills right now. Has he gotten any kills? I don't think he has. No. So yeah, I think that's something to keep in mind as a support, is that if you're not really doing anything in lane, just start roaming. You know, stacking creeps, warding, trying to help set up ganks, something like that. Does have the Plague Wards set up, which is going to help his lane push a little bit. If that's intentional, that's great. Impale way off there. Ben does have that nice Immortal Plague Ward skin, which I do like quite a bit.
Radiant's mid tower's coming.
So Ben's got enough for boots. Oh, a nice Venomous Gale going to hit the Ursa. Looks like they're going to go ahead and chase this out, but they're getting quite low. I'm not sure if this is necessarily wise or not. Ursa getting quite low, and it looks like Ben's getting a little... his eyes are getting a little wide for him right now, as he went for the Ursa, and the Storm Spirit definitely just took him down. So good job, Ben. Doing the good old... classic feeding support, so good work there. But yeah, I think I would have really liked to see Ben buy some boots. I'm not sure if he was maybe thinking that, and he did buy some boots, so he's not sticking to the rules that we originally laid out, but that's okay. And it looks like Nyx Assassin was able to get a kill on Ursa, though he might give up a kill here to the Storm Spirit. And, oh, a nice spiked Carapace going to be used at just the last second to save his life. And another Venomous Gale that was just kind of blown for no reason. Though he may not have known Storm Spirit was way up here. But yeah, Ben did go ahead and buy boots. I think if he would have had boots before he died, like if he would have bought him when he was just kind of hanging out up here, he probably would have been able to survive against that Ursa. The Venomous Gale does a 50% slow, which is really quite nice. I do like that quite a bit. That's a nice slow. Let's take a look at what items everyone has. Sniper has Power Treads sitting in his stash. I hope he goes for those soon. So everyone's got boots. Looks like Necrophos is going for an early mech, which is going to be a really nice item for the Dire. Okay. And he's already got that mech, so that's going to be trouble. If he's getting that at 9 minutes, that's going to be trouble. That's going to really turn the tide of some team fights. So Ben's got brown boots. I guess he's going to be going... I'm not sure if he's going to build those into the arcane boots, or power treads, or even... or just skip that and go right for the Drum of Endurance. I'm not sure what's going on. Ben's playing by his own rules here. Is that the... Overload does a movement... 80% movement slow. That's pretty nice. Didn't know that. Wow, that's really nice. That's better than a Venomous Gale. So Ben does have the Poison Nova ready to go, which I do really like the Poison Nova quite a bit. Ben was knocking on it quite a bit in the podcast because he was talking about how positionally dependent it is, and he's right. It's hard to get that thing off without dying, but you just got to look for the openings. And he does have level 4 Plague Wards, which these things are going to really help him push quite a bit now. They're doing 38 damage with 450 HP, so... And this is able to do... I mean, it doesn't look like much, but... I mean, it's doing a decent amount of damage to Storm Spirit. It looks like the Nyx Assassin, as he should, has started roaming at this level. Looking for some kills, looking for some openings out there. He's already got 2 kills, so good for him. And, yeah, this solo XP for Ben is really going to help him out quite a bit. I do think he's mostly okay. He does have the Venomous Gale slow. He does have the Poison Attack slow, or Poison Sting and Plague Ward slow.
Somebody's cooking.
But one thing you do need to be careful of is you can really feed a lot of gold with these Plague Wards if you're not too careful with them. Because I think they give like 15, 16 gold, something like that. And of course, the first time Ursa dies, people are already calling for him to be reported. Or I guess he died twice. Which it wouldn't be Dota if someone's not saying report such and such. And newsflash, folks, you can't report somebody for being bad. So, there you go.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom.
Going for Vlad's good item pickup. Looks like Nyx Assassin has rejoined Ben in the offlane.
Radiant's mid tower.
Roshan is up, so I would think Ursa would probably be going for him somewhat soon, once he has that Vlad's built. And these Plague Wards are actually doing a decent job of harassing out the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit and Ursa are both diving in here, and that's going to be a dead Ben. Holy cow. Nyx Assassin is trying to do work against this Ursa here. Not sure. Okay, they get the Ursa down, and it looks like the Storm Spirit's going to be able to take down Nyx Assassin. He does pop the Vendetta, though, to sneak away. Is he gonna... Oh my gosh, is he going to go back in here and try and get a kill on Storm Spirit? Holy cow. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Does use that wand, it gives him a little bit of health, but the Storm Spirit does back off a little bit. And Nyx Assassin does back off as he does pull all these creeps into lane here, and Witch Doctor is approaching from the rear with the Point Booster and Ogre Club. Looks like he's going to be going for Ag Scepter, as Tinker does have the Boots of Travel, he does have the Immortal Boots of Travel. Teleports in, and they, looks like they're going to start pushing this tower. And I think Nyx Assassin should really consider getting some health here. Witch Doctor blows a Death Ward for no reason, or trying to get the kill on the Tinker. Not going to be able to do too much. In the meantime, looks like Ben's back online. He does grab the Bracer, which I really like Bracer quite a bit. It's kind of the strength version of the Wraithband or Null Talisman. Does give you quite a bit more survivability and a decent amount of damage, so I think it's a really good... It does build into the Drum of Endurance. I think that's a nice pickup for any support player, really. If you need more survivability and stuff, I think just a great pickup. So taking a look at the net worth, Ben is quite low on the net worth chart, which is right about where the support player should be. Tinker's doing okay, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily say ideal, but he's on top of the gold distribution for the Radiant, so... And that cask is really bouncing around, doing a lot of damage. Maledict is on the Bloodseeker while we have a Rupture going down in the Storm Spirit. And as he teleports away, he is going to lose some damage while he does that, so you got to look out for that. And the Rupture does fade off, and Tinker taking quite a bit of damage. Ben gets off the Venomous Gale. It looks like it connected with 2, so good job, Ben. Well, he does take a Maledict, and that will do a decent amount of damage. And it looks like they are able to win a little bit of a team fight here. They take down 2 with, I think, did Ben get an assist from that? I would think he, it doesn't say that he did, but his Poison Nova really helped out a lot. And Ben taking a lot of damage from the Assassinate, and Ursa with the double damage rune will get the kill on Venomancer. And Bloodseeker's going to be able to take down the Ursa, but he does have that Aegis, and Ursa just does not care. While Bloodseeker's hanging around here, he might go... Okay, no, he's going to be just fine. Ursa backs off with the Aegis expired. He did get a kill out of that, so I think that's a good play for Ursa. But yeah, that was a bit of a 2-for-1 exchange. I think they killed the, what was it, the Witch Doctor and Storm Spirit, so I like that quite a bit. And they did pop the Aegis on Ursa, and only gave up 1 kill, so yeah, it's not too bad. I think our friends on the Radiant come out on top there. And Tinker's about to come into the number 3 position on the net worth chart, so hopefully he can get some more farm and secure that. And I'm not sure, did Ben have a TP scroll? I don't know. Regardless, he needs to be coming down here and helping out in this team fight. As a support, you really can't just go off and farm on your own like this. So I think if Ben sees this team fight happening down here, he needs to come down and help out, because he's got a Poison Nova that's about to come off of cooldown and a Venomous Gale. So yeah, I really think Ben could have really helped out in that team fight if he would have just teleported down there. So he does have almost 500 gold, so he could have definitely bought a TP scroll and go down there. So I think if he was a core, it would have been a bit of a different story. But as a support, you know, you need to be up there. So, good job, Ben. Ben, what are you doing here? He does walk in 2v3 against a sniper. Doesn't have any sort of gap closer or blink dagger or force staff. If he saw that sniper, he should have just walked away. So, Ben feeding a kill there, and it looks like they're probably going to be able to get the Bloodseeker. While we have Tinker teleporting in here, that's probably not going to be good for Tinker. I hope Tinker's able to get away. So he does go into the trees here, is going to rearm, probably going to be able to use his Boots of Travel to get out of here. Okay. Necro and Storm Spirit are just going to walk away, so... There we go. Looks like Nyx Assassin is going to be chasing out the Necrophos. Io teleporting in. And that's going to be a kill on the Necrophos. Ursa teleports in, though, doesn't really land the Q. Ben comes in with the Venomous Gale, hits Ursa, but Storm Spirit is right behind him here, and Nyx is going to go down thanks to the Ursa, and Ursa says, "Hey, Venomancer, I'm going after you, man." Ursa backs up, Laser's going to hit Ursa, do a decent amount of damage. And, yeah, looks like everyone's just going to back off. So with a Tinker and a Venomancer, you do have a decent amount of push. So I would really like to start seeing maybe Venomancer push a lane with maybe the Bloodseeker or the Tinker. Or maybe see Venomancer push with a Nyx in the Bloodseeker while the Tinker split pushes another lane or something like that. Yeah, so I don't know. The dire side is the 4 core with 1 support, you know, the classic all pick comp. So yeah, if the Radiant are giving up kills like this, I'm looking at you, Ben. They are gonna snowball out of control, because 4 cores that are snowballing beats 3 cores that are snowballing, or even not snowballing. So yeah. So So I think if the Radiant are able to either stick together or coordinate some split pushing, I think they'll be fine. This Nyx Assassin is trying to get a kill on Storm Spirit, which he should be able to do that. You know, he's got the Mana Break and the Impale, so he can kind of lock down the Storm Spirit a little bit with the Impale, and the Mana Break will do, or excuse me, Mana Burn is really good against the Storm Spirit, but I don't know if he has enough lockdown to keep Storm Spirit down. So Ursa giving up a, or excuse me, Nyx Assassin giving up a kill to the Ursa. And Bloodseeker walking in here. He's going to want to get the crap out of here. Let's find where Ben is. Let's see what Ben's up to. Ben putting down the wards, trying to help his team get a little bit of vision. And we do have a bit of a fight breaking out here. Sniper able to take down the Tinker when he was up here in the corner. And Storm Spirit jumping in on the Bloodseeker here. Bloodseeker giving up a kill, Bloodseeker feeding a kill. Ben does get off the Poison Nova. I think he got a 4-man Poison Nova, so good for Ben. That was actually really effective. But unfortunately, his whole team was dead when he got that off, so I don't think that was necessarily Ben's misplay there. I think his cores were very uncoordinated, but Ben does need to be backing up here. He's using the Venomous Gale against Sniper solo here, and that's never a fight that Ben's going to win. So I think he's maybe trying to push him away a little bit here, but it looks like we are going to see a Necrophos kill. Maybe. I think just one Impale will do it. Okay, Nyx Assassin is getting a little greedy here as he does go for the Sniper, and Sniper takes him down. Io getting the kill, or no, Tinker getting that kill on the Sniper there, with Io almost dying in the process as well. So definitely a very uncoordinated team. So many of these team fights come down to two things. One, good initiation, and two, good positioning. I feel like that is what really matters so much in these team fights. And Witch Doctor getting the kill with the Death Ward, as I heard there. And the March of the Machines is going to harass out the Ursa, Witch Doctor, and Storm Spirit, and it definitely seems and feels like the Dire is way more coordinated. As this Tinker is chasing out the three of them, I'm not sure if that's a smart idea. Storm Spirit jumping back in here, 2v1, while Ursa blinks in with the Q, and is just going to eat Ben for lunch. Oh my gosh, that was rough. So definitely a little bit of an outplay there. With two highly mobile heroes like that, you definitely want to make sure you have backup in that case. So nice little play there from Storm Spirit and Ursa. Io's going for the headdress, and oh boy, Witch Doctor picking up the Ags. It's time to see some stuff happen. So we do have the Dire kind of 3-on-1 in the Radiant jungle here. I don't think they have vision on the Nyx Assassin. They know he's there, though, thanks to the Death Pulse. And Storm Spirit going in on the Nyx Assassin. Well, he does get off a nice 2-man Impale with the extra Vendetta damage, but I think we're going to see a dead Io here. And Io is still alive while the Necrophos does go down. Bloodseeker getting the kill on that one. Ben did get off a good Venomous Gale to slow him down quite a bit, so nice support play there from Ben. He does complete his Mana Boots. Still waiting on the Drum of Endurance. So I really think this is the time right now. You know, this mid game is really just so important as far as team fights go and everything. So you either want to make sure it's kind of tough with the support, because right now you could be in the jungle getting some farm while your cores are, you know, elsewhere looking for ganks or, you know, farming the lanes or something like that. So you could be trying to get some farm, which is exactly what Ben is doing, so good for him. But it's really tough to know that you really have to have good game sense, because once you see a team fight break out, you are needed there. You need to be there. Not in a case like this, when the Nyx Assassin dives 2v1 against a Sniper, or excuse me, versus a Sniper and a Necrophos. So, it's such a tough balance of knowing when you're needed and when you're not. And Ben does not have a TP scroll. He definitely needs to have one right now. He could have easily just teleported here to this tower and gotten off a good Venomous Scale and a Poison Nova, while this Necrophos and Sniper go crazy. And it looks like... Okay, Ben did get a kill on the Sniper, so that's good. But yeah, Sniper and Necrophos did quite a bit of work here. Full 5-man team wipe. And, yeah, that's not good. So you want to be looking out for that. Ben does have the Drum of Endurance online, which is good. He is building into the Ring of Regen. Not sure what that is for.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand. Radiant's mid tower.
What does Ring of Regen build into? Looks like he's going to be going Force Staff, probably, which I think is a real nice pickup to help him out with the landing those Poison Novas. And this cask is just bouncing around doing all sorts of damage while Ursa blinks in and is able to really just do work, take down the Nyx Assassin. Oh my gosh, and the Death Ward just going crazy with a triple kill. And yeah, good initiation from the Ursa there with the cask. You know, while that was bouncing around, stunning everybody, locking them all in place. Witch Doctor put down the Death Ward and really just did a ton of damage. So I do like that combo quite a bit, the Ursa Witch Doctor combo. The thing about Witch Doctor's stun, though, is that it's only good if there's, you know, since it bounces around, you gotta have somebody else in the area with you. Ideally, you know, two heroes standing next to each other is ideal, because it's just gonna bounce between the two of them. And then you put down your Death Ward, and it's just all over. So... Alright, Ben's back alive. He has completed the Drum of Endurance, which is a fantastic item. I think I would have liked to see it maybe a little bit earlier. I think he had some downtime where he could have maybe been farming the jungle a little bit or trying to do some pulls or something like that. But yeah, 25 minutes is an okay time for it, and Ben is just going to feed another kill against this Sniper. And this Bloodseeker... Oh, he did get a kill against the Sniper. Good for him. This IO... tethered in and it really just saved his ass because he would have been dead. So I thought for sure Ben was going to feed another kill to the Sniper. Everyone talks about how big of a pain in the butt Sniper is, which is true. And he is a pain in the butt unless you have some sort of stun or some sort of gap closer. You know, like a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff or something like that. Even with a Force Staff, Ben wouldn't have been able to take down Sniper solo. So it's... you gotta team up against him or gank him or something like that. You just have to know how to play against him. Very positionally dependent. You just have to burst him down. He's very squishy and he can't get away. So you have to try and expose that weakness as much as you can. Okay, Ben's back alive again. He has Wand, Arcane Boots, Drum of Endurance, Ring of Regen. He is 4, 8, and 9, which as far as assists go, he's leading on his team, so that's a good indication of support. With the Venomous Gale there, not going to hit the Necrophos. Ben does have 4 kills, which is pretty good, so he's not doing too bad, but he is tied for deaths on his team. And that's kind of what's hard about support, is sometimes as support, it's okay to die. You know, if you're getting off a good Poison Nova in the middle of a team fight, that helps your team, you know, totally own the team fight. And another whiffed Venomous Gale. Ben, what's going on here? Good lord. And this is not a situation where it's okay to die, so... yeah, Ben was a little far forward in that team fight. He should have been not leading the way. And the thing about support is, you know, it's just so... it's all about positioning. It's all about positioning, knowing when to back up, knowing when it's worth it to get a good ultimate off to turn a team fight into your favor. So Ben, I hope you never support our team. I don't see it working out too well, buddy. And that's okay. You're a really good carry player, which is what we need you to do. So this sniper is feeling quite fed. He does have the blink dagger, which I'm okay with the blink dagger, because if you're able to escape with it before you get hit, you know, if you have the foresight to know that the pain's coming, you'll be fine. And this Tinker is just feeding kills now. He has died how many times? 5 times? Yeah, he should not have been there. He does have the fewest deaths on his team, which I thought he was leading in deaths. But yeah, that kill should not have happened. Ursa getting kited around here pretty good. The Death Ward is going to go down. Not going to do too much work, though he did get the kill on the IO, who is already quite low. Ursa coming back to life from the Aegis. Maledict going down on the Nyx Assassin, and Ursa is just chasing out people and going crazy. So that's 3 down for the Radiant team. And yeah, this Witch Doctor is just really helping out quite a bit. Able to get a Maledict kill on the Nyx Assassin. Bloodseeker chasing out the Sniper. So that was a nice kill for Bloodseeker. And he needs to be spending his gold. Good lord, he has 3,000 gold. I think I'd like to see him pick up maybe like a Skull Basher. Skull Basher would be nice. Abyssal Blade would be really nice. And Ben does pick up that Force Staff, so I do like to see that. It is a real nice item for Venomancer, so that'll really help him out to get out those good Poison Novas. And Ben has already used 2 charges of the 5 that you get with Drum of Endurance. So I don't know. We'll see if Ben is able to make anything happen here. It seems like for the most part in the last 15 minutes or so he's been somewhat effective. He's got a decent number of assists. He's got 13 assists, so that's something to be said. He's sitting on 71 last hits, while the Nyx Assassin's sitting on 16. So, and in pub matches, it's always, you know, I laugh at Ben for quote-unquote stealing farm from other carries. But in pub matches, you know, if you have a core like Nyx Assassin who has 16 last hits, isn't really farming, isn't really getting anything out of his kills. You know, he has 8 deaths and 5 kills, so he's getting a little bit of farm out of that. But I mean, Ben's beating him in net worth. So if you have heroes who aren't taking advantage of the farm, you know, you just got to look out for that. So I think Ben's been doing a good job of farming up when it makes sense. Maybe not necessarily making it to team fights. Okay, here we go. Very good, Ben. Teleporting in. Sees everyone in the mid lane and says, hey guys, you're going to need me. So it's okay on a support to get farm. You just have to do it when you're not taking farm from a core. So that's really hard to figure out. Venomous Gale going to connect on Ursa and on Witch Doctor. Or maybe it didn't. Yeah, it did. Okay, that's good. So we've got a 4-man push from the Dire here, and there's really just not much that they can do here. I think this game is just all but over. And these barracks are going to go down quick, and this is kind of the beginning of the end. Ben did get off a nice Poison Nova. I think he hit 3 with it, so good for him. Sniper blinking in here. Wow. This Sniper, he might pay for this with his life. But no, Ursa going to blink in, take down Ben, and hashtag baited from the Sniper. He does have the Mjolnir up, but he's taking quite a bit of tower damage. And Venomancer... How did Ben kill the Venomancer? Was it from the Poison Sting, I believe? Yeah, I think the Poison Sting damage from the Plague Wards took him down from these Plague Wards right here. So good job, Ben. Getting that Sniper kill. That's what we're looking for. Ben got 500 gold for that kill, so good on him. And the classic overextension as Necrophos might die here. Not sure. Tinker blinking in. And the Necrophos does go down. And Ben is up to 15 assists now, which, as Venomancer, it's really easy to get assists. You use the Venomous Gale and the Poison Nova, so... I don't know, Ben was talking about how Poison Nova is a bad spell, and I think he maybe used it a little bit early. last time. You know, when they were coming up the racks here. He should have maybe waited a little bit on it. But you know, all the poison from the Plague Wards and his right clicks and the Venomous Gale really did quite a bit of work. You know, every single ability that Venomancer has is doing damage over time. So I think we really saw there just the power of that damage ticking away slowly over time. I think it's kind of underrated, to be honest with you. Because the longer these fights draw out, the easier it's going to be for the cores on Ben's team to get kills. You know, because he's just doing a ton of... you know, the damage over time just really stacks up quite nicely, so... And the thing is you see your damage ticking down, but you think, oh, you know, I'm fine. I can just hang out. I'll be fine. And the longer you stick around, the more your health bar starts to tick down, and you go, oh, I'm taking quite a bit of damage here. And by the time you realize that you should probably back out, you're a little too overconfident, and you just wind up dying, so... We saw that happen a little bit in the last team fight, but unfortunately I think the Dire's maybe a little bit too fed. I know that Bloodseeker's, you know, number 3 on the net worth, but I mean, look at the rest of the Dire here. They are just really, really fat. Not sure if there's much that our friends on the Radiant can do. And this Bloodseeker has the double Hyperstone with Mjolnir, or excuse me, Maelstrom. Bit of a strange build. I've never seen anyone go for double Hyperstones. I mean, it's quite a bit of damage. It's nice, so. But he needs to get a Skull Basher because he just gets kited around like this. And Necrophos almost got the kill on him, so you got to look out for that. But anyway, back to Ben. Ben's just kind of hanging out here, trying to do everything that he can. And, oh, this Death Ward, that sucks. Poor Ben. Not too much Venomancer could have done there.
Radiant's mid tower's in trouble. Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
And I gotta say, I like this build that Sniper's going for.
Radiant's mid tower's coming.
I think this Sniper is probably one of the better ones that I've seen in a while. He does have 7 deaths, but I think his item choices are pretty good. So yeah, this is all but over, unfortunately. And Ursa's taken down the Ancient, and I think that's going to be a GG here soon. Ben's still dead. And there you have it. I know I kind of said a lot of, maybe not harsh things, but critical things towards Ben's support play, but I think he did... I think as the game went on longer, he got more of the hang of it. I think it just took him a little while to kind of switch into support mode, so... yeah, I think you did okay, Ben. I'm disappointed that the Venomancer didn't work out better for you. And I think Venomancer's a really good hero. I like him quite a bit. So I think I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more lockdown on the side of the Radiant. But, you know, it could have ended up worse. Ben's stats are decent. He's sitting at 303 gold per minute and 239 XP per minute. Given that his team was dominated pretty handily, I don't think that's too bad for a support. So, this Bloodseeker did come online, but he got his act together way too late in the game, unfortunately. So, alright, good job, Ben, and thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.